Have you ever met someone who didn't have to be the loudest in the room, didn't need the spotlight, didn't ask for attention, yet somehow, quietly, subtly, almost mysteriously, they became the person everyone relied on? The person people turned to when things went sideways, when stress was high, when details mattered, when decisions actually counted. Have you ever watched someone look at a chaotic situation for 3 seconds, and something in their eyes changed, like they instantly understood the problem underneath the problem? Not the surface issue everyone complains about, but the invisible flaw everyone else overlooked? If you've ever known a Virgo, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There is something inside them, something quiet, something razor-sharp, something unshakable, that no other zodiac sign has. Not Leo's charisma. Not Aries' fire. Not Scorpio's intensity. Not Capricorn's discipline. Virgo's strength lives in a completely different category. A category people often underestimate, often misunderstand, often take for granted, until the moment they desperately need it. Virgo's power doesn't scream. It whispers. And that's exactly why it hits so hard. Because Virgo holds a strength that other signs simply cannot replicate. A strength that isn't flashy, dramatic, or theatrical, but instead subtle, precise, deeply rooted, and shockingly effective. Their power is quiet enough to be overlooked, but strong enough to change the entire direction of a situation, or a life. And if you're a Virgo listening to this, you've probably spent your entire life being so strong, so dependable, so capable, that people don't even realize they rely on you. They don't realize how much weight you carry for them behind the scenes. They don't realize how much heavier your world would be if you let go for even a moment. Virgo, you have a power no one else has. And today, we are diving into it. Let's start with the one thing most people don't know about you. Your mind isn't just observant, it's a system. A constantly running engine that refuses to turn off. Even when you're calm, you're analyzing. Even when you're quiet, you're processing. Even when you look like you're not paying attention, you're catching details, connections, inconsistencies, tiny signals in people's behavior. Things others would need hours to notice, if they noticed at all. You see everything. Not because you're nosy, but because your mind doesn't know how to ignore information. While other signs live in broad strokes, you live in microperception. You're the one who notices the slight hesitation in someone's voice, the pattern in their habits, the shift in their eyes, the energy that changes when someone walks in, the contradiction between what people say and what they actually do. Virgo, you don't read people through emotion, or instinct, or intuition. You read them through data. And the scary thing is, you're almost always right. People can lie to themselves. People can lie to others. But they can't lie to you. Not really. You catch the tiny cracks in their stories. You sense the tension behind their smile. You notice their discomfort hidden in silence. You detect the truth without needing anyone to spell it out. This isn't Scorpio's emotional X-ray vision. This isn't Pisces' intuitive empathy. This isn't Gemini's social intelligence. This is Virgo's analytical precision. A power so subtle people don't realize it's happening until you say something that cuts straight through their excuses, straight through their confusion, straight through the fog. And what happens when a Virgo speaks? People listen. Even the ones who pretend not to. Because your words come from truth, not ego. From observation, not assumption. From accuracy, not emotion. This alone makes you powerful in a way no other sign is. But this isn't even your greatest strength. Not yet. Your greatest strength becomes visible when the world falls apart. Because when life gets chaotic, when stress skyrockets, when everyone else is overwhelmed, panicked, or frozen, you become sharper, calmer, more focused. It's almost eerie how stable you remain under pressure. Where others break, you center yourself. Where others rush, you slow down. Where others crumble, you reorganize. Where others lose control, you take control, quietly, naturally, without demanding permission. Virgo, you are the person people depend on when they don't know they're depending on someone. And this is the moment your power steps into the spotlight, whether you want it to or not. You're the one who sees the root of the problem. You're the one who creates the plan. You're the one who fixes what everyone else overlooked. You're the one who keeps the situation from collapsing. You're the one who remains calm when chaos is roaring. You don't do it for praise. You don't do it for validation. You don't even do it consciously. You do it because you can't stand watching things fall apart when you know exactly how to make them better. Even your mistakes, as rare as they are, come with responsibility. Virgo will apologize before anyone asks. They'll fix the damage before anyone notices. They'll carry guilt more deeply than anyone realizes, not because they were wrong, but because they care too much about the impact they have on others. This is why you often feel older than your age. Why you feel responsible even when you shouldn't be. Why you feel tired even when you haven't done anything big. Why people treat you like the emotional adult in every room. Because you are. You're the emotional backbone, the mental filter, the stabilizing force, the quiet strategist, the calm in the storm. You're the person others lean on without even realizing that leaning has weight. Weight you carry silently. And here's the truth no one says out loud. Being the strong one comes with a hidden cost. People think you don't break because they never see you break. People think you don't struggle because you never show it. People think you don't need help because you rarely ask for it. People think you're okay because you act okay even when you're not. Virgo, people forget you're human. They forget that behind your calm exterior is a heart that feels deeply. Behind your rational thinking is a mind that gets overwhelmed. Behind your reliability is exhaustion no one sees. Behind your emotional stability is a storm you survive alone. You don't explode like Aries. You don't cry openly like Pisces. You don't withdraw dramatically like Scorpio. You don't seek comfort like Cancer. You don't distract yourself like Sagittarius. You endure. Quietly. Silently. Painfully. You hold yourself together even when you're falling apart internally. You solve everyone else's problems while ignoring your own. You forgive mistakes you would never allow yourself to make. You give compassion you never receive back. And the saddest part? Most people will never know how much strength it takes you just to stay functional. But this is where your story turns. This is where the Roy, the emotional drop, begins to rise again. Because underneath all this pressure, underneath all this responsibility, underneath all this unseen labor, lies the real power that makes Virgo unique. Virgo's greatest strength isn't analysis. It isn't intelligence. It isn't precision. It isn't resilience. It isn't perfectionism. It's transformation. Virgo takes broken things, broken systems, broken situations, broken plans, broken people, broken hearts, and quietly, without noise, without drama, without applause, they fix them. Not temporarily. Not superficially. But fundamentally. Virgo turns chaos into clarity. Fear into structure. Confusion into understanding. Weakness into improvement. Pain into growth. Dreams into plans. Plans into results. You don't just see what's wrong. You see what's possible. You don't just analyze reality. You elevate it. No other sign has this ability. Not Capricorn with their discipline. Not Scorpio with their insight. Not Aquarius with their innovation. Not Leo with their leadership. Virgo's power is engineering the invisible. Fixing the unspoken. Healing the unacknowledged. Strengthening what others give up on. Turning potential into actual change. This is why people come back to you. Why they trust you. Why they confide in you. Why they rely on you more than they admit. Why life feels easier when you're around. Why things improve just because you're involved. You're not just the fixer. You're the quiet architect of stability itself. The person who adds value to everything they touch. The one who makes things work, even when no one knows how they were falling apart before. This is your superpower. The one no other sign, no matter how loud or bold or intense, can match. You see what others can't see. You fix what others can't fix. You know what others can't figure out. You stay calm when others collapse. You bring order when others create chaos. You transform situations others gave up on. Your power doesn't announce itself. It simply works. And the truth is, you don't give yourself enough credit for that. You don't recognize how rare you are. How valuable your presence is. How many lives you've quietly improved. How many disasters you've prevented. How many people survived because you stepped in. Virgo, your strength is not loud. But it is limitless. Steady. Precise. Reliable. Sharp. Pure. You are not the hero who walks in with fireworks. You're the hero who prevents the explosion from happening in the first place. And the world, desperately, needs you for that. The world needs your clarity, your structure, your honesty, your discernment, your responsibility, your integrity, your transformation. The world runs because people like you hold the pieces together, quietly, skillfully, gracefully, unapologetically. And that, Virgo, is the strength no other zodiac sign will ever have.